Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is 106 sites have been identified by the central government that should be considered as conservation reserves, and these are the marine and coastal sites. So we'll discuss in detail about this. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. This is our channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call on these numbers or you can visit our website too. The PDF of this lecture will be available on our site. It will be available in both the languages, Hindi and English. Now, what is the relevance of this topic from exam point of view? If we talk from UPSC perspective, in your mains paper 3, it will be covered here in your environment paper, and at objective level, what is NBWL, wildlife conservation efforts at subjective level, these are the important things. Now, why it is in news? Because recently center has identified over 100, it's 106 exactly, but more than 100 coastal and marine sites as conservation reserves under National Wildlife Action Plan, that is for the year 2017 to 2031, around 15 years, right? So now what are the highlights of this report? See, under the National Wildlife Action Plan that is written here, for the period of 2017 to 2031, the government is working towards the conservation of coastal and marine ecosystem. So ecosystem is where the non-living and living things interact with each other and their surroundings. So here we are talking about the conservation of coastal and marine ecosystem under National Wildlife Action Plan to protect them from the impacts of climatic changes. And what is the progress? See, in the last 4.5 years, India has not only been able to sustain but also increase its mangrove cover at a time when these ecosystems are disappearing at an alarming rate across the world. So India has a very rich marine wealth also. So I have already made a lecture on mariculture, right, where we do the cultivation of seafood, for the seafood of aquatic plants and aquatic animals. In future there will be a strong question for the food security and a requirement for the food. So there will be a problem of food security in future. So in that video we talked about that. So here we're talking about that we already have a rich marine wealth. So as per this report, India has a rich coastal and marine wealth along the eastern and western coast, as well as the Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep islands. And the coastal and marine sector is also a source of valuable fish protein also, not only for the growing population but also contributes to the global food basket and in turn provides valuable foreign exchange also. Foreign exchange to the country. So India produced 3.8 million metric tons of seafood during 2017, and the value of it was 5.28 lakh million at landing center. So this is in million, right? And at retail level the value was 8 lakh million. Okay, so the fisheries sector, if we talk about the workforce, the fisheries sector supports around 9.3 lakh active and part-time fishers, one of the largest workforce of fisheries in the world. So this report is saying that. Now if we talk what is the special about this, see, participation of local communities, because India is totally encouraging participation of local communities in governance by recognizing the conservation reserves, and moreover India is implementing measures to sustainably harness the potential of our blue economy while building the climate resilience of the ecosystems and local coastal communities. So now here we'll talk about National Wildlife Action Plan. So what is it? This is the third one in the row. The first was adopted in 1983. The second was adopted in 2002, which ended in 2017, and the third National Wildlife Action Plan started. See, here we are talking about mitigation of human-wildlife contact. I have made separate videos on this topic also, where I have talked about leopard human and wildlife conflict, where I've talked about leopards, I've talked about tigers in a separate video, and then even I've talked about elephants also in a separate. So these are 3 separate videos. So mitigation of human wildlife conflict, coastal and marine ecosystem conservation, and a focus on wildlife health are among the key areas of National Wildlife Action Plan. So this draft emphasizes on aspects like preservation of genetic diversity. As I told you, India has a rich marine wealth. We have lot of diversity of aquatic plants, and marine animals. Okay, so here the key areas are genetic diversity and even the sustainable utilization of species and ecosystem, because this has a direct impact on our scientific advancements, and this supports millions of rural communities also. Okay, so before ending, I would like to give you a gist about one more thing that is important, that is NBWL, that is National Board for Wildlife. So we already talked about National Wildlife Action Plan. So then there comes National Board for Wildlife. See, it is a statutory organization which was constituted under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. What is its role? It has an advisory role in nature, and it advises the central government on framing policies and measures for conservation of wildlife in the country. Their primary function of this board is to promote the conservation and development of wildlife and forest, and they have powers also. So it has power to review all wildlife related matters and approve projects and around national parks and sanctuaries. For example, no alteration in boundaries in national parks and wildlife sanctuaries can be done without the approval of NBWL, and it is chaired by Prime Minister, and it has 47 members including the Prime Minister also. Among these, like 19 members are ex officio members. Other members include 3 members from the Parliament, 2 from Lok Sabha and 1 from Rajya Sabha. 5 members are from different NGOs, and 10 eminent ecologists, conservationists and environmentalists are part of this NBWL. So now in this particular lecture, we learned about that 106 sites which government is aiming for the conservation reserves. We learned about National Wildlife Action Plan. We learned about NBWL, that is National Board for Wildlife. So these are very important from your prelims point of view, right, in your environment section. So if you have any query regarding this lecture, you can mail me anywhere, you can contact me anywhere on the social media. Thank you.